Hello, guys. Welcome back to. I don't have a name for the podcast, really. And really, it's not really a podcast. It's really just me just letting the Lord speak to me when He wants me to speak to you guys through this platform. But do you guys like the ring? The ring is my ring with my husband, with Jesus Christ. And yes, I know I have it in the. I know I have it in the middle finger. Listen, listen. We're not gonna talk about that right now. But the Lord wanted me to come up on here and speak to you guys from the bottom of my heart because a lot of you guys need to hear motivation and hear someone tell you guys about the fire of Jesus. Now, you may be thinking, I have the fire of Jesus and I love Jesus and I follow Jesus, Um And that's a great fire. I have it too. I have that fire. But I'm talking about the fire that is still there that won't be put out regardless if you want to worship or not. I'm talking about like the renewal of your mind. And as well, because trust me, I know I have those days too where I don't want to get out of my bed. I don't want to do anything. I just want to stay in the same spot in my bed because my bed be too comfy. I understand. Listen, I know. But I also understand that the Lord don't be thinking it twice to wake you up another day. You are here breathing every day. So things like that, right? Things where the Lord dying for us should be something to think about every day, meditate on every day, and say, you know what? I don't want to do this, but he died on that cross for me, so I'm gonna do it. Not because again, we have free will. You don't have to do these things forcibly. He respects you so much that he will let you choose. But because we love him so much, we choose to do these things regardless if we're getting things out of it or not. So I just want to come on here and talk about that because I know it's something that can be misunderstood sometimes, or even if you feel misunderstood, I'm letting you know you're not misunderstood. This is something that happens to a lot of people. It happens, okay? We're not perfect. Our flesh is not perfect, so our flesh will not care about us walking with Christ. If anything, it wants to do what it wants to do. Remember, also we know that we don't fight against flesh and blood, but we fight against principality. There's a lot of things that you haven't overcome yet, not because you haven't chose to leave things or leave certain patterns, but it's because of certain strongholds, principalities, generational curses, things that come in your bloodline that you don't understand that. And so we talk about the renewal of the mind, right? In my walk with Christ, there was a lot of things that I left easy, that I gave up willingly, because the Lord is looking for a willing vessel to give up the things that don't glorify him. Some stuff do take some time and some stuff are a struggle for people to leave. That is a thing, okay? I'm not diminishing the fact that that is something that happens. Yes, I had my struggles too. I mean, I was addicted to nicotine for about 2 to 3 years, if not more. And it was times where I would do it for 6 months, leave it for 2 months, and then come back. Not something that I would entirely leave like the Lord wanted me to. But you know what? The Lord had his hand on me in the midst of me smoking. But the Lord also knew that in some of these things I wanted to leave. I just struggled with it. But it got to a point where I really thought to myself and started meditating, hey, like, I really want to follow the Lord. And if I want to follow the Lord, I have to give these things up. I have to willingly say, I'm going to give them up, meaning I'm going to leave them behind. And that makes it easier, but not easy in the sense that I just say, oh, I'm going to just leave it. Boom. Okay, bye. See you never. No, it's in the sense of, if this is a struggle or if it's not a struggle when I leave it, it doesn't matter, because what I'm focused on is the walk that I'm going to step on with the one who saved me, with my Father. And it looks different for everybody. Um, but I want to share something, and hopefully this does give more clarity into what I'm explaining. But it says, your enemy Satan will tempt you repeatedly and continually by appealing to your self oriented feelings and desires. You can resist his onslaughts by cooperating with God's plan to renew your mind. Salvation is the first step in this process, and a committed life of obedience to God's word will ensure that your mind will be continually renewed to increasing Christ likeness based on Genesis 3:17, Romans 12:2, 2 Corinthians 2:11, and Galatians 5:17. And with the renewing of your mind, and again, this is very important, this is key. So for example, I'm gonna give you an example. A lot of people's truth, or the truth they believe in, is manipulated, which is why we have so many beliefs around here. Religion, people worshiping other religions and stuff like that. A lot of those truth that they believe in, that they see these gods and they think that's peace, those doctrines that they think is truth, that's manipulative. Why? Because Satan is the author of manipulation, and he twists the words for them to look like something and hear like something else, which is why it's very important to guard what we hear and what we see. So Satan likes to switch it for it to look good, for it to sound look good, and for you to see it as something desirable. But in reality, what you're really looking at with your carnal eyes is something deadly to the spirit. And this is why in the Bible is also talked about that what you see, the vanity that you see, can lead you to death, because not everything that looks beautiful on the outside is good in the inside. you know I can say that, you see someone that's so pretty, or a pretty girl, or a handsome young man, but the moment you hear them speak or you see them treating others, it's not so great. That's really who they are. You're seeing an image that is manipulated to your mind to look good, to